Hello. Hi. Welcome to Life in Lockdown in Brussels, day 6? Is it our 6th day in lockdown? 7? It's been like a week because it started last Friday at midnight for us officially. And my mom's already sending me a message that she cannot find this link, so I'm going to send that to her really quickly. I am here on the roof of our home in Boitsfort, where 2 days ago it was very warm, and I thought it would be a great idea to do a rooftop concert, and now it's freezing. However, it's really important to, to do a rooftop concert still, because space where there are no borders, and there are many countries closing their borders, which, I can understand to a degree, because people are trying to governments are trying to protect their people, and that, that is respectable, that's honorable, and I'm so glad that I'm in a country where the government seems to know what it's doing. It makes me feel safer. On the other hand, there are so many people in the world that are already on their way to try to leave war-torn countries, places where they're not safe, to come to places like Belgium that have had their arms wide open for asylum seekers. And so I also wanted to be up here on the roof where I'm freezing and where there are no borders, is just an act of solidarity and a reminder that that there are people out there, who who really are don't have that. They don't have shelter. They don't have a safe place to stay. They're on their way to countries whose borders are now closed. My mom is still sending me messages that she cannot figure out the live concert link. So in some ways, life in lockdown actually is not that different from normal life. I guess maybe because my life has never been normal anyway. So maybe I'm better prepared for for this crazy time. Oh, Mom. I don't know if anyone's friends with my mom on Facebook and can help her figure this out. Um, I want to start, at least moving my arms and playing music. I'm all bundled up. I've got jacket. I've got fingerless gloves, just in case my hands stop working. I've been preparing for this because my co-volunteer Sarah and we volunteer on Mondays. Well, until the lockdown began, we've been volunteering together for 3 years. She's been volunteering for 10 or more at the Petit Chateau Fait d'Asile Arrival Center in Brussels, and we always work outside under a covered corridor, inside of the first big central courtyard, because for one, just symbolically, being outside is a place where all are welcome, right? There's no borders, there's no doors, there's no walls to keep us in, but also so that we can be seen, so people can know that we're there to join us. And especially, now the Fait d'Asile Arrival Center in Brussels has shifted in the last couple of years to a transit center, so it's people's first point of entry after they apply for asylum. They're given an orientation tour of the center, and many tours go by us, and we say welcome in as many languages as we can. And I think that means something. There's, in these times that are so uncertain, where there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of unknown, there are a lot of small acts that can have big meaning. In Italy, people are singing from their windows. From our home in Boitsfort, the last couple of nights, we've heard people clapping for the paramedics. I think that we should also be cheering for the grocery store staff who, are really, really brave souls, because people are trying to pound down the doors and take all the toilet paper and all the Bugle potato chips. So crisis, none of our favorite chips are left. Thankfully, we have some in reserve, but, of all the things to panic about. So settle in. If you're outside, get a warm blanket on. If you're inside, you might still want a warm blanket. Got some hot tea. I've got my my feline companion, I also have my ukulele case, which has on it the chorus to one of our signature songs that I will play. It's called I Could Be You, You Could Be Me. And just get it set up so you can see it, so you can sing along later. And I've also got my little handheld rhythm instrument case because it has the whole world on it, just as a reminder, you know, that we are all in this together. So I'll set that right there. And let's see, what's the best way to do this? This is a very professional setup. So you can see I've got my computer on top of a yoga cushion. And a couple folks have already sent musical requests. So if you send those to me by Facebook Messenger or email, I will do my best to learn them and add them to my repertoire, and play those songs for you. I'm planning on playing concerts on the roof if I can handle it, inside for the next many days. As long as people want to listen, I will sing. And I wanted to start with this quote I found. So I have this folder of songs that I brought with me because I used to do a lot of performances in the US, so I have all these kind of printed sheets of music that I played. And I found this printout from, this is like the early days of printers. I've had this a really long time, and on it is a quote from Chris in the Morning from the television show Northern Exposure, which is about a Jewish doctor from New York City who gets sent to work in Alaska to kind of pay off his debt because the state of Alaska paid for his medical school. And anyway, it's like a hilarious show, which even if you're not Jewish like I am, you can find hilarity in it. But Chris in the Morning, he's on this radio show, and he has this quote that I wrote down and I think is really apt. He says, "You are here right now. And I think if you are somewhere, you ought to be there, because it's not about how long you stay in a place, it's about what you do while you're there. And when you go, is that place any better for your having been there?" And I think these are times to kind of step back and think about those ideas. So I think I'm better for having come to Brussels because you're all here. And for those of you joining from other places, that means that I know you from another place where I'm better for having been there, for you having been there. Does that make sense? And I wanted to start with a song that Sarah and I wrote with asylum seekers. Well, actually, we wrote this for asylum seekers. We wrote this poem where we shared all the ideas that we had about how to welcome people. And Sarah suggested that this would be a good one to play. And so I'm going to start with that one. It's called A Wild Idea. Here's an idea, a wild idea. What if we open the door? What a pleasure to meet you. We're on our way to a place without any walls. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. We are all passing through. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. Can I open the door for you? And pas de porte in French means no doors, pas de passeport, no passports. Here's an idea, a wild idea. Anyone can begin. It doesn't take much, a smile, a touch to let the stranger in. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. We are all passing through. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. Can I open the door for you? Here's an idea, a wild idea. Every person is somebody's child. Another idea, a wilder idea. Every person is everyone's child. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. We are all passing through. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. Can I open the door for you? Why can't I go where I want to go? Why do you close the door? If we're all worth the same, then why is your life worth so much more? Come into the space where you can breathe, see the world anew. We're in it together, breathe the same air. I can share this world with you. So here's an idea, a wild idea. These words can change the world. You are welcome, will you come in? Will you come in? Welcome beyond the new. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. We are all passing through. Pas de porte, pas de passeport. Can I open the door for you? Can I open the door for you? Voila, a wild idea. We're all in this together. And I'll take out, like, I've got a little egg shaker. I don't have enough limbs to, like, play all of these, but I'm just going to shake one in, like, solidarity. And I might just come in for shakes here or there. Maybe you have instruments and you can shake them at home. Another song that I wanted to play. So I'm going to mix it up a bit. I've got migration songs that I've written with asylum seekers here in Brussels, lots of just fun songs that I've rediscovered going through all the song sheets that I brought with me to Brussels, songs that I've written in different times of my life, and also just songs that I love from other musicians who are amazing. And one of those songs I wanted to play because it's similar to this a wild idea where it's about the world belonging to all of us. And so if you wanted to Google and sing along, you can Google "This Land is Your Land" lyrics. And it should come up. It's by a musician who is a hero of mine named Woody Guthrie. W-O-O-D-Y, Guthrie, G-U-T-H-R-I-E. And Woody Guthrie traveled around the United States. He had a big sticker on his, either on his guitar case that, I think it said, like, this instrument surrounds fascists and, like, or, like, I don't know, does something bad to fascists. I don't know. I can't remember the exact quote. My ukulele case has slightly less intense wording, but still kind of the idea of, that of solidarity. And so this song, oh my God, there's a plane flying over. We just heard that tomorrow most of the planes out of Brussels airports are going to stop. Are going to stop flying. So this, I haven't played this song in a really long time, so I'm trying to remember. Some of these songs I haven't played, but I just wanted to share them with you, so I'll remember how it goes. So while you're Googling the lyrics, you can sing along. I'm just going to remember the chords. And then it goes like this. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And that's the refrain also. So, like, at the end of each verse, this land was made for you and me. We can all sing together. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley, and I knew this land was made for you and me. Everybody, this land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Stream waters, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. Here we go. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And I'll just do one more verse. Well, the sun came shining as I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling. As the fog was lifting, a voice was calling, and it said, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. One more time. This land was made for you and me. Oh, it's true. It was made for you and me and the birds and the trees. I was really excited because for the first few days of lockdown, there's no tree cutting in the forest near our house. And I thought, oh, capitalism is in lockdown also. But then it started again. But we use trees, right? I mean, we need toilet paper. Apparently, we need a lot of it. More than we need food, water, or shelter. Or maybe people are like creating shelters out of toilet paper rolls, you know, just like building little houses and stuff. It's like backup. Anyway, you know, I think it's really important as I'm like making jokes, but I do think it's important to realize that, you know, that we all respond differently to crisis and fear, and, you know, the feeling like we need to, you know, have a lot of toilet paper or whatever it is to feel safe and stable is, you know, that's, you know, each person is just experiencing in their own authentic way, you know, how to deal with this real place of groundlessness and unknown where we recognize that really we're not in control. So if it gives you a small sense of like, I have some control now to stock up on toilet paper, like do it. You know, I rolled my eyes and then I went to the grocery store and I bought more toilet paper. I mean, we're all, you know, do what you gotta do. So I'm a wandering person just by nature. I call my, you know, it's like I think like the modern Jew in me or something. I just like keep moving around. And so I've met a lot of wonderful people and I've written a lot of songs with people from, you know, in many different places. And one of those songs, so my husband and I, to keep ourselves kind of like occupied and cultivating joy, my husband's done some cooking and I have played some music for my supper and taken requests, and he asked if I would play this song that I wrote from a story that a woman who I knew when I was living in Alaska shared with me about her first winter in this small town called Gustavus. It's just a few hundred people, and that number doubles to a few hundred more in the summer when there's more work available. You fly to get there on a little plane. I'd always thank the pilot for my life when I got out because it was like a tin can with wings, and or you take a ferry to get there, which was finished just before I moved there. So already like my existence there was different from people before who like, yeah, I mean, just didn't leave all that often. And I mean, this is the kind of town where people really help each other. I mean, if something stops working, my pilot light went out on my water heater, and I called someone, and they said, "Don't worry," and they did the Gustavus grapevine. They called people until someone just knocked at my door and came and helped me fix it, and then learn how to fix it myself. So this is, again, a time where we can do that. We can help each other. We can help our neighbors. If they run out of toilet paper and you have a lot, you could maybe part with a roll or two. Anyway, so this song is called Snow Angels. And so this friend of mine told me that in the winter, her first winter, and winter in Alaska is pretty dark. I know it seems like it gets dark in Brussels, but let me tell you, when you leave the post office and it's pitch black and you don't have a headlamp in your pocket in Gustavus in the winter, you gotta wait for someone else to come that has one, because you can't see where you're going. And so they wanted to create this spontaneous event, and they invited everyone in town, and they made it really anonymous, and to show up at at this field in Gustavus that everybody calls the best field, to do Snow Angels all together. And there's another airplane. Whoa! Hey, friends. So this is called Snow Angels, and I'm going to play it for you. Not because I want more snow, but just because I'm thinking about fun things that we can do together, at least in a safe, social distancing kind of way, like live video stream on Facebook. My story is a winter in Alaska, my friend Elise and I. Hardly anyone knows. Winter was too dull, and what we needed was an art event in town. We picked a day, a Saturday, when everyone would be in town. We picked a random time, 11:52, to make snow angels in the best field in Gustavus. Come make snow angels, snow angels with us. Come make snow angels, snow angels with us. That's the chorus, and so now you know it. It's pretty simple, so you can sing along next time if you want. Come make snow angels with us. We made a bunch of postcards asking folks to come. We even sent them to ourselves. We were nervous as we waited, would anybody come? Saturday came, it was snowing. Snow was on the ground. We were wondering, what would people do? Would they make snow angels in the best field in Gustavus? Come make snow angels, snow angels with us. Come make snow angels, snow angels with us. Here we go, this is the cliffhanger part. People were waiting for a direction. They held their arms in a snow angel pose. They were waiting for a command when someone said 1, 2, 3, and everyone dropped and made snow angels. And then we made some more. We stayed and made snow angels, and then we marveled at what we saw. Snow angels, snow angels, come make snow angels with us. I don't know, do you make snow angels in Brussels, or like snow people? Snow children? Snow cats? It's cold out here, and apparently it's like too cold for my cats. Everybody's inside but me. But that's okay, because I'm in a place with no borders. I'm sharing space with the birds. Every now and then a plane flies over, far fewer than normal, but they're still flying. So there's like people traveling and hopefully going somewhere safe where they can hunker down. Um, and yeah, I mean, this is really, I love doing these videos and singing songs normally just to share the migration songs that I've been working on, or if I'm like practicing for a gig or something like that. I move a lot. I am a wandering person, which means that I have the gift of meeting really amazing people. It also means that I have that sad time where I have to leave. So, you know, doing live videos and seeing people join or wave, yeah, just it helps me feel less alone. And in this time where, you know, maybe you're home alone or with your family, but you're still feeling isolated, I think it's really important to find ways to cultivate togetherness, even if we have to do it virtually, you know, or from a distance. You know, we're practicing safe social distancing in Belgium, so we can like still get out and see people. But it still feels weird to walk down the street and have someone actively cross the street instead of walking by you. I mean, I know that it's because of the virus, but like I can't help but feel like, hey man, like, what up, you know? Um, I just got this error message that content cannot be displayed, so I don't know what that means. Um, Hopefully you can still listen. I don't know what that has to do with, like, I think Facebook is sort of like exploding, probably because we're all on it, and also because a lot of their staff are not there, so I get all these error messages. Anyway, in solidarity with other beings, I'm wearing my pigeon earrings. I don't know if you can like see my pigeons. Oh, I really love pigeons, and a lot of times in the winter when Sarah and I are volunteering at Petit Chateau, we write music with the pigeons because it's just cold and nobody else is out there because no one's maybe as crazy as we are. But we wrote this song. There was a pigeon with a broken wing. And so we started off, you know, with a line that Sarah wrote, I am a bird with a broken wing. I'm not sick, I have allergies, but even if I was, you're safe because this is virtual. We started with this line, I'm a bird with a broken wing, and we wrote the song from there. And it's got, I mean, there's so many layers of meaning in any story that people share, in any song that we write, in any piece of artwork. There's layers of meaning, and we make it our own. But this one is a real favorite of mine, and it's almost kind of Buddhist. It's like, you know, all we have is this moment, all we have is this time, and then this idea that we're not so different, you and I, which, you know, that can be for, you know, like you and me and the pigeons, like on the back of our new songbook, we're not so different, you and I, or the little stickers that I just had printed, you know, great timing to try to sell anything or raise money to record these songs when you can't leave the house and people are freaking out. But we do have these new books and we have these stickers as a fundraiser. I've shared the links for the books, and I've shared a GoFundMe site. If you're, you know, this is just my one little plug, you know, if you want to support artists, you want to support the recording of these songs, you can. And I shared my new bandcamp.com page with the one album that I recorded years ago, because today Bandcamp is supporting artists by not collecting any commission fees, so all sales are 100% to the artists. So if you like Snow Angels or a couple of the other songs that I'm going to play, you know, you can find this there. Oh, my husband just joined my live video. It's too cold for him to come out here, but I love you, Richard. So I'm going to sing the pigeon song, and I hope you enjoy it. No, it starts with a D. I don't know what I was doing there. I blame lockdown. It's making me crazy. I am a bird with a broken wing, but I'm still learning how to sing. Nobody likes me, nobody loves me, but still I sing every day. All I have is this moment. All I have is this time. We are not so different, you and I. It's true. Let us share this moment. Let us share this time. We are not so different, you and I. I woke up this morning and I could not hear my song, but somehow I found a way to carry on. All I have is this moment. All I have is this time. We are not so different, you and I. Let us share this moment. Let us share this time. We are not so different, you and I. When my song is hard to find, will you share your song with me? If we sing together, we create harmony. All I have is this moment. All I have is this time. We are not so different, you and I. Let us share this moment. Let us share this time. We are not so different, you and I. Rock on, pigeon friends. When my husband and I were going to like one of his first conferences was in Rome, and on the way back there was this guy who stood up, you know, when we landed. I'm sure he waited for the seatbelt sign to go off. He stood up, wink, wink, and he had this shirt on in all capital letters. It said "Kill all pigeons," and I was like, ooh, what? I was like so offended, but I also like did not know how to truly express my how disheartened I was in French. So I was like, mais pourquoi? Vive les pigeons! You know, like I was just, so anyway, I'm so glad we have this song now to celebrate the pigeons and all beings, and the idea that we're not so different, you and I. We have another song that is a signature song, and it's this idea that, you know, if our lives were if my life was changed for yours, or if, you know, something had been slightly different in the universe, like our places could have been switched, and we could be experiencing really different realities. In this moment with lockdown, I think a lot of us are maybe experiencing similar realities where we're kind of stuck. We don't know what's going on, you know, joking aside, you know, like toilet paper and the chips being, you know, out of stock. Like, I mean, it's a real shift in just the everyday, and I think it's in these moments where it's great to sort of, as we're hunkering down, to kind of go inside, practice like literal inside to our inner selves, and you know, practice self-care, be gentle with ourselves, and also think about you know, other people who are out there who you know, maybe who don't have a safe place, you know, or who are headed to a country with a border that's now closed to them. And so this song is called I Could Be You, You Could Be Me. And it's true, you could be sitting on this cold rooftop without even a cat to keep you company. But that's okay, because you'd be singing, and as long as you can raise your voice in song, you're alive. And that's good. So and the refrain in this line, just that repeats at the end of each verse, is I could be you, you could be me. So we can sing it together. I could be you, you could be me. And now you know it, it's as simple as that. I could be you, you could be me. We can change the dark to light if we want to be free. We are bound together, if only we could see. I could be you, you could be me. We don't choose our species, if we're a peacock or a pigeon. We don't choose our family, our country or religion. I could be the king of Belgium, he could be a refugee. I could be you, you could be me. What if we couldn't see the color of our skin? All we could see was the person, soul within. Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, Shiite or Sunni. I could be you, you could be me. We don't have to follow a story born of fear. We all come from somewhere else, but we're together here. Our fate is not yet written, it's who we choose to be. I could be you, you could be me. I could be you, you could be me. We can change the dark to light if we want to be free. We are bound together, if only we could see. I could be you, you could be me. I could be you, you could be me. One more time. I could be you, you could be me. Yay! Egg shaker in solidarity. So this morning, or I guess it was like early afternoon, normally on Fridays, I teach a yoga class for my husband and his colleagues at the VUB, the Free University in Brussels, and but with the lockdown, we canceled class, and then we thought, well, what if we tried doing like a live video, and we did that, and it was really fun, and just a great way to feel connected with people and to do a practice that cultivates joy and grounding in a time of groundlessness. So like we're just always looking for ways to, how can I create grounding when I'm feeling kind of like, whoa, what's happening? So doing a virtual yoga class was the next best thing to an in-person yoga class. Oh my gosh, there's a cat outside to join me. It's pretty cold up here. My idea for a rooftop concert was cultivated a couple days ago when it was like really warm and sunny, and I was like, yes, the cold is finally over in Brussels. And then like 2 days later it's freezing again, but I'm still up on the roof because it's a place without borders. It's a place where I'm reminded that there's a whole world out there. There's birds up here singing, so like, spring's still happening. I think, is this our first day of spring? Like, and it's amazing. And but I was looking through, to sing for you and to sing for the yoga class, I was looking through different songs that would be fun to sing, and I rediscovered one that I really love, by a group called Redbird with Chris Delmhorst from Massachusetts, and it's called Patience, which is always a good it's a good thing to practice, especially if you're like me and you don't have any in times of lockdown. Patience is a great thing to cultivate because we don't really know what will happen next. So keep breathing, keep singing. There's still a lot to be thankful for. I spent all day yesterday watching the grass grow. And what I learned is the grass really grows slow. Now I'm hanging around trying to get inspired. Punch a hole in my cage and I reach out blind. Have patience, everything will be alright. Have patience, give it just a little time. Everything will be alright. I spent all day yesterday sitting at a red light. 'Cause she told me give it just a little more time. I lost my car in a parking lot. Bought a newspaper and I decided to walk. Have patience, everything will be alright. Have patience, give it just a little time. Everything will be alright. My fingers are getting cold. Come on, hammer on. I spent all day yesterday listening to church bells ring. Much had been a Sunday, I could hear a choir sing. Down in the graveyard, they're listening the underground. They're the only ones ever calm down. Have patience, everything will be alright. Have patience, give it just a little time. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. One of my favorite yoga teachers did a whole workshop training when I was first studying yoga 5 years ago, and his theme for the weekend was everything is already alright. And it's true. I mean, we're in chaos, but I mean, life is chaos. The natural tendency is toward chaos in the universe. And, we humans really like to create this illusion that we're in control, but we're not. But there are things that we can do even, within that space of uncertainty to still celebrate life, celebrate one another, celebrate this beautiful planet that is probably doing some amazing, it is definitely doing some amazing things right now, like recuperative time for the earth, while we all take a pause from, shopping and just the busyness of the everyday, while we're taking a pause. Dolphins and swans are returning to the canals in Venice, which, I didn't even know they used to be there. You can see through the water because all the silt is settling to the ground, which is pretty awesome. And it is, spring's on its way. Supposedly it's really spring, I think, today or tomorrow. It was warmer a couple days ago, so it was more believable in Brussels. But the trees are blooming, and birds are singing. The males are like, "Hey baby, hey baby, hey," like, "I got the best spot for a nest. Come on over." We put some husky fur out there, so they might have taken some to make a really rad warm nest. Yeah, there's still so much to be grateful for. So I think for the next song, I have this like stack of, this isn't like the most organized set list ever. I just have this like stack of papers. I'm like, what song should I play next? And I'm really glad to see that there's some people listening. Oh, here's a good one. So there's a Tom Waits song that I really love called "Come On Up to the House," and which could have lots of different meanings. You know, in times of lockdown, it's, you know, not coming up to my house because we're like in lockdown. But you know, but when things are not going your way, like, what are you gonna do? Just come on up to the house, or whatever it means for you. Yeah, okay, I haven't played this one in a while, but I love it. So, well, the moon is broken and the sky is cracked. Come on up to the house. The only thing you can see is all that you like. Come on up to the house. Oh, your crying won't do you no good. Come on up to the house. Come down from the cross. We could use the wood. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. There's no light in the tunnel, no iron in the fire. Come on up to the house, and you're singing lead soprano in a junkyard choir. Come on up to the house. Does life seem nasty, brutish and short? Come on up to the house. The sea is stormy, you can't find no port. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. There's nothing in the world that you can do. Come on up to the house. And you've been whipped by the forces that are inside of you. Come on up to the house. Well, you're high on top of your mountain of woe. Come on up to the house. And you know you should surrender, but you can't let it go. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Woohoo! My hands are so cold. That's okay, because I'm going to rise up singing. I think that's the next song that I'm going to play for you. And I was never alone, because you're here with me. There are birds singing. And also, Guda the cat has come to join me. Can you see her? Hi, Guda. Oh, my neighbor's there! Hi! Oh, that's so fun. My neighbor's little head just like popped up. Well, it's not a little head, but she popped up from like wherever she was sitting, which is adorable. Yeah, it's nice to feel not alone in times when it's so easy to just feel like isolated and uncertain, and you know, there's all these warnings, like if you're from the United States and you're coming back, you better do it soon, and we're like, you know, I don't think we can, because we have animals that haven't been vaccinated and all kinds of crazy logistics, but these are daily discussions that cause that like lovely grounded feeling that I create from doing yoga or singing to go like whoosh, right away, far out of the door and into another universe where grounding is not happening. And that's okay. I mean, it's like I think the more that we do the things that bring joy, practicing that, like putting the oxygen mask on before you help someone else, the more we are able to cultivate that equanimity in our own life, and the more it becomes more readily available more quickly the next time that that we try for it, and that we can be reminded that it is possible, to create what we need for ourselves, and then be able to help other people to do that as well. So, so I'm going to sing a song that's it's not my own, but it's one that I just love, and so I've made it my own. And it's by an artist named Daisy May. It's called Rise Up Singing. If you are weary, trying to find your way home, don't give up, my friend, 'cause you are not alone. In a world full of trouble, trouble may find you. Well, I've got your medicine, baby. This is what you do. You've got to rise up singing. In time this too shall pass. You got to rise up singing. Trouble ain't built to last. And when you're left standing with no hope inside, 'cause at the end of the tunnel, someone's dimming out the light. Well, you can lose your way and wind up far from home. But till the day you lose your voice, you cannot lose your song. You've got to rise up singing. In time this too shall pass. You've got to rise up singing. Trouble ain't built to last. Life ain't easy, and life will make you cry. But so long as you're breathing, you are still alive. And when you're standing at the station waiting for your train, don't you think you'll be singing that sweet refrain? You've got to rise up singing. In time this too shall pass. You've got to rise up singing. Trouble ain't built to last. Oh no, trouble ain't built to last. It's true. I mean, this will pass. Everything will pass. And we'll get through it. And, even though we're practicing safe social distancing and, protecting ourselves and hunkering down. We can still help those in need. We can still just keep our hearts open, while borders are closing, and fear is present. Groundlessness is real and present. We can still create a sense of solidarity, and it's heartening to see the things that people are doing, to cultivate that sense of togetherness even from a distance. And so singing for me is one way to do that. And a friend of mine made a song request for the John Lennon song Imagine. And oh, hello, beauties. Oh, hi, Finn. Let me show you like some solidarity from the cats that are like, she's still outside. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we'll see if it's so cold. It is cold, but it's not that bad. And right, so like when I first came out here, I was like, oh, it's freezing, and I wanted to go inside. But I gave it a little time, and I adjusted, and resilient human being that I am, I was able to adjust. And we can do that. We can adjust. And it's not necessarily like easy to make adjustments, especially when daily we're making adjustments, because daily things are changing and we're getting different information. But we can still rise up singing. Huzzah! Wave. So I'm gonna sing. This is a song that it's kind of like a medley of a mantra and Imagine and another song, and I learned it when I was practicing Anasari yoga with amazing people on Inishbofin in Ireland, and Jack Harrison, who's an Anasari teacher and an amazing musician, led a kirtan, which I was invited to join, which was really awesome. I brought my ukulele just in case, because if you don't bring the ukulele, you can't play the ukulele, and you never know when things might get musical. So I was really excited to get to play with him and other musicians, and to experience the beauty of the Isle of the White Cow in Buffin, and that's, that memory and the song are ways that I create joy in times of uncertainty. So before my fingers freeze entirely, it's really not that bad here, but my hands are cold, so which makes it harder to play. I'm going to play this song. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. There's a song I sing in the morning, a song I sing in the night, a song I sing when I'm troubled, to make everything alright. And the wind broke into the mountain, and it tore the rocks apart, and it sang every song that ever was sung to the sound of the pilgrim heart. And after the wind, the earthquake, and after the earthquake, a fire, and after the fire, a still small voice, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. trees. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Cats. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. We can learn a lot from cats. My cats are totally unperturbed by the goings-on and just living life. And we can do that too. So I'm going to play one more song, and then I'm going to warm up my hands. But I'm really happy if you enjoy this concert. I'm really happy to keep doing this. I can play each day. It may not be on the roof if it's cold and rainy, but I'm still happy to sing for you. I have so many more songs that I would love to sing, and if you have requests, I've gotten a couple of requests. I'm happy to learn them and sing them for you. It gives me great joy just to be able to sing. It gives me great joy to be able to sing and be in virtual solidarity, which feels very real in my heart. It doesn't feel virtual, it feels real. Love is real. And we can live as one. So I'm going to finish with a song, speaking of, being able to live together in peace. This is a song that Sarah and I wrote with an asylum seeker from Burundi, and it's called Hakuna Matata. And so I started with a song about the idea that, this land is your land and my land, and we can share. And I'll end with one that we can live in peace. So Hakuna Matata, no troubles, don't worry. This is Swahili. The second line is Tushikane Mikono, and it means shake hands. So like virtual. Place your hand in mine for safety in these pandemic times. Tutafika salama, we will arrive safely. Salam, similar to salam, shalom, the idea of peace. Nabila sila, without weapons. And then there's also, we had residents join us from Afghanistan, so there's a line in Dari. From Senegal, there's a couple lines in Wolof, and there's a French line at the end. So I'm going to sing that for you. The third or fourth round of the chorus, I sing my English interpretation of the Swahili, which was a recommendation from my husband. He's my musical helper, and he has some really good ideas, even if I'm not always all that open to suggestion. This is a good time to try to just be more open. So, Hakuna Matata, friends. Hakuna Matata, Tushikane Mikono, Tutafika salama, Nabila sila, Nabila sila. If we open the borders, where would everybody go? Like a bird, no pain, no visa, just the power of our wings and our hearts to decide. Hakuna Matata, Tushikane Mikono, Tutafika salama, Nabila sila, Nabila sila. If we open the borders, where would you go? Would you choose one place or migrate? I would build a new life in Belgium. Hakuna Matata, Tushikane Mikono, Tutafika salama, Nabila sila, Nabila sila. Even a bird can be hunted. There's danger in the sky. Petit à petit, soleil, soleil, pole, pole, give us. Okay, I'm gonna start that again. Petit à petit, pole, pole, give us the reason to decide. Hand in hand, main dans la main, on paix, on arrive. In peace we land, peace is our land. Don't worry, place your hand in mine. We will arrive safely without violence. bashing, relax, live for all time. Africa la jugi de nu, fek finu, jugi de fune. Si tu savais à quel point tu me manques, combien je pense à toi. I come from Africa and I find the whole world. Nabila sila hakuna matata. I come from Africa and I find the whole world. Nabila sila, without violence. That was what the asylum seeker from Senegal said. So here we were, all together from all these different places, or from around the world, and we were together in a peaceful way, which we can be. I really believe that, and I'm so thankful to you for being here with me, for sharing this virtual and also real space of solidarity and song, and yeah, thank you so much. And send me a message if there's like a song that you would like to hear. I will do my best to learn it and share it with you tomorrow or the next day or the next day, as long as there's lockdown. I'll be here singing. Namaste, friends. Be safe, be well, cultivate joy, and also give yourself permission, if you're feeling fear, to feel fear. That's okay. But know that you're not alone. You are loved. I love you. Okay, enough cheesiness. Bye for now.